Alright guys, and good morning. So today I'm obviously filming a day in the life. It is Friday, October 7th. I'm going to film this day in the life a little different. I wanted to kind of bring you guys along with me as I'm doing things that I normally would just like kind of show you. I'm going to talk through. So just got into the office. It is 7:38. I was planning on coming in earlier, but last night after doing the designing and everything that I needed to get done, I came up with this idea, and it's not a new idea. It's something that I've been thinking about doing for a very long time. But I came up with like some really big details regarding it, and I started doing a little bit of research, and that should not be done at like 10:30 at night because I could not sleep. I was so excited. I woke up so excited to keep going and looking at everything. So it's definitely going to be a project that is not like anytime soon. It's going to be something that takes a lot of work, probably collaboration with a lot of people. But anyway, super exciting. That is why I'm in at this time. Today, Macy is off of school and Mila is going to preschool. So Jason's going to drop Mila off at preschool, bring Macy over to his parents' house because his dad's going to be watching our nephew as well, and she loves helping out with him. So he'll be in a little bit later. The game plan really for today is I need to finish cutting kit 121. We are wrapping up December kits, which is really exciting because when you guys are watching this, December kits are going live on Friday. And then I have a ton of orders that I want to pack. So let me just plug this in. So we have been working on getting the sale orders out, and it's a very slow process because there's quite a bit of things that is out of stock. So my game plan is today, like there's not much that needs to get cut, so I'm going to cut all that first, and then anything that needs to be restocked I will work on that after, just so that like I get like what I have scheduled done. And then this weekend I'm planning on coming in a few nights just so that I can like get orders out and also have the ability to cut what I need for those orders without having to like delay what I'm trying to work on that's scheduled for the day. So I'm hoping that I can get a bunch of them done. We'll kind of see. The hard part with sale orders are that they're so big, so it takes so long to fill them. We are a little over a week out. The birthday sale was on the 5th, today is the 7th, so we're like 9 days past the sale date, and we still have probably maybe a little over 100 orders that need to be filled. So definitely doing like a slow and steady thing, but like I said, I'm hoping to knock out a bunch of it today. So I set up my computer. I have my handy dandy notebook that goes with me everywhere. It keeps track of restocks, any ideas that I may have. I also use it for custom scripts, and then I have my planner. I need to put together a game plan for today because, as you can probably tell, it's blank. Really, the only thing that I need to do is cut kit 121 and then fill orders. That's like the majority of it. So before I do that, before I put together my game plan, before I start printing, I'm gonna go make my coffee. So let me bring you guys along with me to do that. Also, before I go ahead and start my coffee, I wanted to show you guys, I always start the Graphtec before I leave. I usually print like 25 to 30 sheets of like the same kit and just have it going while I am gone, because I feel like this thing should be going all the time. I also have a lollipop camera so that if I'm ever like, oh, let me check and make sure it's running okay, I can do that. But I figured I'd show you guys that. This thing is constantly going all day, every day, and even when I leave, it's going for a little bit too. So hopefully it's not hard to hear me over this ice machine, but my recent go-to coffee has been making a hot mocha. So I will use 2 of the blonde espresso pods from Starbucks. So I use 2 of those, and then I mix about a cup of milk with 2 tablespoons of this Nesquik syrup, and I swear this is the best mocha that I've ever had. I got this from Caputo's, and I love it so much that I actually went ahead and purchased one of these things for home as well. So like I said, I'm just gonna get started with making it. I like to do this now before I get into printing and everything, because if I don't do it right away, then I feel like I end up making it like significantly later, and coffee is a good motivation. So I did about one cup of milk, and I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of the Nesquik syrup. During the winter I switched to like a hot mocha for my drink, but during the like summertime I like to go with like an iced vanilla latte. So I just recently switched and I've been really liking it. So I have the chocolate and the milk going. I'm gonna go ahead and start my espresso. And then I wanted to also mention, so I use my Yeti. I would show you, but I have it going right now. I use my Yeti for my hot mocha. I love the Yeti because it keeps it warm. I definitely am all over the place, so I don't have time to like drink it right away. But I've been using plastic cups for like a long time for my ice drinks, because it doesn't taste the same in the Yeti. I don't know if it's because like the mixture doesn't get cold enough before it goes into the Yeti, so it just keeps it that same temperature. I honestly don't know. But I picked up these 20-ounce glass mason jar containers for my iced lattes. I think the pack of 2 was like $20, but I figured this would be definitely a little bit more eco-friendly and also just easier because I could just wash it out. It comes with the top and then this huge metal straw, which I don't know if I'll use this metal straw, but it came with it. So that was 1 shot of espresso. I'll do the second. But anyway, I figured I'd mention that. I will try and have it linked down below if you guys want to pick them up. It's also good to have, like, if me and Jason just want to have like water or anything else and we don't have a cup or whatever to use, that's a good option as well. So my drinks are brewing. I'm telling you guys, this is such a good mixture. If you have not tried making your own mocha, definitely try. I have been really good in October making my own drinks. It's only the 7th, but I've been really good about making my own drinks, and I swear my allowance is really thanking me for that, because I don't think I've spent anything of my allowance yet. But yeah, I'm gonna finish making my coffee, then I'll pop back in and show you guys when I start printing, because that's the next step. I'm gonna start printing everything that I need for today. I like to knock it all out at once. Just makes the most sense. So let me pop in a little bit. Coffee is made. I'm just sitting down right now. I'm going to start putting together my plans for the day. At the same time, I'm gonna start the printers. Most likely I will have to get up pretty soon to make sure that like the ink and the paper and everything's okay. But I'm just gonna start them just so that they get going. One thing that I wanted to mention is I've switched up how I've printed stuff like forever. It's been like this ongoing thing where I just try and figure out what is the best way to do things. Recently what I've been doing, because my printers have been cooperating, is I try and print everything that I need for the day at one time. So every single printer that I have, I currently have 9 printers that print stickers. All 9 are printing, and I try and put like quantities and things like that, group them in certain ways. So one, I'm getting the best print qualities and cut qualities, because some printers print a little different, so I have to use certain printers for certain things. I know it's ridiculous. I also try, like I said, to print everything at once. That way I'm not like constantly doing something then having to print more, doing something, printing more. Of course, with restocks, that's gonna happen. And then of course, like sometimes like today, there's one printer that is going to have to print a little bit more than the other, so I'll have to do like 2 runs. But other than that, I try my best to limit how much I have to print and like how many times I'm printing. I feel like it makes the most sense, and with all the printers that I have, I feel like it just works fine that way. So this printer needs paper. The other thing that I do is I trust the printers at this point, but I do like to occasionally just check and make sure that everything is looking okay. So that is something that you probably see me do a lot, is I just take a look, make sure there's no smearing, no issues with how things are coming out. So this one is the Christmas kit. This is kit 121. I love this one. I feel like it's so stinking pretty. The funny thing is when I design kits, and I designed January stuff yesterday, and like the reformatted stuff and all that. When I design kits, I like them, but I don't love them. And then as I'm doing this process, designing like all the little kits, I fall in love with them, like absolutely fall in love. Okay, so like I was saying, a lot of what I have to do right now is just make sure that all the printers are running smoothly, make sure that everything is coming out well, keeping paper in the printers because they definitely go through quite a bit. So that is basically what I'm running through right now. Everything is looking good, which is awesome. So yeah, that is what we're gonna do, is just keep flipping through, making sure everything looks okay. If I had stuff like ready to go, I would also have stuff cutting right now, but I don't have anything that's like prepared. I started the cutting machine last night before I left, so that definitely helps us get through stuff, but it also means there's a little downtime for the machine when I first get in. And we need more paper, so we'll be running at that. Printing is probably the thing that I do every day that it's satisfying because like I obviously spent all this time designing it, but it's also like frustrating because it's like I wish that it could happen a lot quicker than it does, especially with some of these kits where I'm printing like 30 of something at one time. But it's all good. Today is a pretty easy day when it comes to cutting because I tried to schedule everything for December to be like easy because I knew that we were going to have sale orders and all that. So luckily we're in a good place and we don't have to do much every single day. I need more paper. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you more with just plain talking. I will pop in when I start the cutting machine, but this is going to go on for a little bit. It's 7:53, so I'm guessing around 8 o'clock is when we'll get started with things cutting. I try to, like right now, I have some monthly views that I could start. This is the first thing that I cut for day 3 of cutting. But there's gonna be a bunch more printing and I wanna make sure that I'm keeping track of everything, so I don't just start a small batch of stuff. Maybe I should, but I don't, because I feel like it's really stressful popping back and forth between. And I try when it comes to printing, because printing is so frustrating sometimes, I try to focus on just getting things printed and nothing else. That way I don't get like extremely frustrated with the whole process. There's certain things that I can multitask. I try to like leave printing as like, okay, I'm just going to keep track of the printers. That's my only job. Like for example, when I'm filling orders, I will also have things cutting and I'll have to pop back and forth to switch out the cutting machine and all that. And that's fine. But for some reason, printing, especially when the printers are acting up, then you need paper, you need to change ink, things are jamming. Like I just feel like it makes the most sense not to overwhelm myself. So like I said, I'm gonna pop in a little bit when it's time to start cutting. All right guys, so it is now 8:07. Here's my stack of stickers. This is not all, but a big chunk of what we have to cut today. So I'm gonna start off, like I mentioned before, by cutting the monthly kit for 121. So what I have to do is find the file. And if you have a Graphtec or know anything about the Graphtecs, the nice thing about the Graphtecs is once you create a cut file, you don't have to do it again. You'll just have to change out the designs. Of course, that will change like if you ever make any adjustments to it. But it makes it really easy because I just have to find my monthly cutting situation and it will go. So the first one that I always do is a cut test, which just helps me make sure that the speed, the cut force, all that is good. Also that it's in alignment where it needs to be so that all the cut lines are where they need to be. There's certain kits that like it really matters for. These kits matter because of the not expense tracking stickers, the event stickers, because you want to make sure that they're like in the middle of the design and that like it's cutting in the correct spaces. So it doesn't take very long for it to go. There it goes right now. So we'll check it together and then we'll just start cutting all of them, and I'll just pop in whenever it stops, which makes it really easy for me. I did not mention this before, but Jason will be coming in a little bit and he will be doing some restocks on the silhouettes. We still have some stuff that's on the silhouettes, so he will do whatever he can in terms of restocks. So you can see that is perfect. I was just trying to check a couple of them to make sure that everything looks okay. So yeah, I think we're in good shape. We're in good shape there. So I'm gonna have this go, and now I'm gonna go pop in to the other room and get stuff set up so I can fill orders. I have some packing slips here. I also have more over there. So everything is kind of set up the way that I need them to right now. I have some October freebies here. Those are included with the sale orders. And then if you purchased over $50 after the discount and before taxes and all the fees, you get one of these. You can see I have a nice stack of those as freebies. So basically what I'm gonna do now is grab all of the things that I most of the time have to grab. So all of these samplers here are gonna go on my desk. I'm gonna grab the like budget kits, the thick and thin washi, that type of stuff. I'm gonna put it on my desk. That way, as I'm filling, I could just grab what I need here, and then anything random that I may need to grab, I can just go to the bins. But I try to lay out the bins that are most popularly like pulled from. That way, I'm not constantly like getting up, going over there. So I'm gonna do that really quick, and I'll kind of have you guys watch as well. Okay, so I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see me doing, but here is kit 109 through 113. So I'm gonna bring this over. Kit 113 still through 116. And then I guess I only need this one because this one has 117 through 19, and 19 is a December kit. So we have that. Then I grabbed the budget kits. All of the budget kits, the November, the October, and the September are all in here. So I always like to just put that on the right. And then the thick and thin, so this is 111 through 120, and I always just leave that right here. Those are the bins that I pull from the most. Then like mini scripts, functional icons and scripts, those things I grab, but like I don't really have enough space for them, and they're not in every single order. So I have all those, and then the Daily Duo, A5, that stuff is not very popular, so I don't have to pull from them that often. I have a bunch of stuff here with me. I have mailers here. I have my like stickers so that I can put on the boxes. So I have everything there. I'm going to go ahead and get my shipping labels. That way like all the orders that I'm working on are pulled up. So that is all good. I'm gonna bring my chair over so that I can sit down whenever it works for me to sit down, and then I just kind of start. So I think this is the part where I have to concentrate. So I will film me filling orders, but I'm not going to talk through it because I just feel like it's a little hard to do so. But I did already mark up the packing slips. I always try and do that like the night before. So what I've been doing is I kind of make this an easy thing for myself. I go through, you guys know, and I circle anything that has multiple quantities. I also, for the sale of the sale and freebies, I went ahead and highlighted if the order was over $50. That way I know to grab a freebie. That just makes things so much easier on my end to make sure that I'm like, you know, including what I should be including. So this is probably like 160, maybe 170 orders. So definitely a lot. I'm gonna try and go through as many as I can today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. I will show you guys a little bit of me filling orders, and then I'll kind of pop in whenever it makes sense to kind of talk things through with you guys. it is now 1:43. I am done with orders for today because I have filled 40 total, and there's quite a bit that needs to be restocked in order to like get these orders officially out. So I am working on the Graphtec right now. A lot of what needs to get cut today are icons and scripts, and also some of the one-page Wednesdays, because those sold a ton during the sale, which is awesome. I love that you guys are loving the idea. So down here, and don't worry, all the stickers are in plastic bags on top of mailers, so it's not a big deal that they're on the ground. Nothing is actually, like, no stickers are actually touching the ground, but all of those stickers, all those packages right there need at least one thing to be able to finish it. So like I said, the majority of those orders need the one-page Wednesdays or some icons and scripts. What I do, and this definitely makes the process take a little bit longer, but then I think in the end it ends up working out better, because what I do is I keep track of what I need. So let's say, for example, the coffee one-page Wednesday that I have. Let me set you guys down because it'll be easier to talk this way rather than trying to hold it. So the one-page Wednesday that I have for the coffee, 987. I'm currently cutting that on the Graphtec and printing. So for this one, I needed to restock 30 of them. And I usually start out with a certain number and then I just keep adding depending on how the sales are going. And so anyway, this one I needed to cut 30 of. So what I do is, instead of just cutting one here, cutting one there, I cut all of the 30 all at once. That way I'm not going back, opening up the same file, printing the same file over and over and over again. And then it helps me with future orders that have this one-page Wednesday. I don't have to like stop, go print it, go cut it, all that fun stuff. So doing it that way, obviously it's nice because you get it all out of the way, but it is time consuming, because instead of just cutting one for the order that I may need it for, now I'm cutting 30. And again, the Graphtec is really quick. As soon as I get it printed, there's not much else that I have to do, but it does take some time. And that's kind of the way that I've been doing restocks recently, is just as I need it, like for an order, I will just go through and cut all that I say that I need like to restock. And then that's pretty much it. So right now I have a bunch of one-page Wednesdays that I need to cut, some other like little random things. It's gonna take me a while to do all of that, so that's why I kind of stopped for the day, even though it's 1:45. I figured let's go ahead and get as much of these restocks done as possible, get these orders like finished up, wrapped up, bring them to the post office. And then I mentioned this before, but I do plan on coming in this weekend. So I may come in later tonight or Saturday or Sunday to get some work done, just because I really want to try and knock out as many orders as possible. And the hard part with doing these orders is that if they need restocks, I'm also trying to cut other things. So right now I'm officially done cutting, like with what I had cutting for the day. So everything that's going in the cutting machine is all restocks. But if I wait until Monday to work on orders and, you know, do the corresponding restocks, okay, now I have all these things that need to get cut. So that's why I figured I'm just gonna try and knock out a bunch of orders this weekend. That way I'm not fighting with the cutting machine to like have restocks going, have December kits going. I think it'll be the most beneficial, and then hopefully we'll get into a good spot where like we don't need to, you know, work weekends and nights and all of that again. That's just kind of what happens with sale. So that is what I'm working on. 40 orders for a sale day is a really good amount of orders. The last order that I packed was like 99 items, so it takes a lot to go through all the bins. And a lot of the sale orders, it's not just like, okay, kit 109 through whatever. It's like every single kit, old kits, kits from like January. So there's a lot that goes into filling some of these orders, especially when you have multiple kits, multiple add-ons, all that fun stuff. Jason went to run some errands. I had some returns that we needed to do, and then Mila's potty training, and she like is running through clothes at preschool like it's nobody's business. So we're definitely gonna have to make sure we bring more clothes with her, because this is the second day in a row that they're like, yeah, Mila's on her last pair of pants. So yeah, fun stuff. But I will check in with you guys when I'm all done, all wrapped up. Hopefully we can get all of this stuff done really quickly and then start all over tomorrow or tonight, whatever I decide to do.